Aim assist was nerfed in Warzone 2, but with the right combination of settings, we can get aim assist that is just as strong, if not stronger, than it was before the nerf in MW2. I know we've covered this before, but rotational aim assist specifically is what makes aim assist in this game so strong. For those out of the loop, rotational aim assist is just extremely broken in this game. It's something that you almost need to be abusing, because if you're not abusing rotational aim assist, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage at this point. Here's an example of rotational aim assist. As you can see, I don't have my thumb on the right stick, which is the stick I used to aim with, and instead I am only wiggling the left stick, which is my movement stick. And as you can see, as my friend runs back and forth across the screen, the aim assist will actually track it by itself without me even touching my aiming stick. So anytime you're in a gunfight, just make sure that you are wiggling your left stick, or literally just moving it in any direction, and that rotational aim assist will kick in. But you need the right combination of settings in order to make this work properly, and the settings I gave you guys in the MW2 controller settings video have been nerfed, so we need to change some things. This does work on PC and on all consoles. Everyone that plays on controller is on a level playing field, so just navigate to your settings and go to the controller settings here, and we're going to go over to the advanced tab to start. Now obviously we want target aim assist turned on. If you're playing without aim assist in Call of Duty, you're dumb. You're just dumb. Don't be that guy trying to be on your high horse saying, oh, I don't use aim assist, I don't need it. You're dumb. And for the aim assist type, we now want to be using default. Previously, Black Ops was the most broken aim assist type, but this is the setting I was talking about that has been nerfed. Although rotational aim assist still does work if you are using the Black Ops aim assist, but there is no reason for it. And there is no reason to be using focusing or precision either, because rotational aim assist won't kick in on either of those settings. So make sure you're on default, and don't click off the video yet, because you actually need to make sure you're combining the aim assist type on default with another setting we're going to be covering here soon. ADS aim assist here, this is only for single player, so that doesn't matter. And then we got gyro aiming here. Gyro aiming is something they recently added to the game, and if you don't know what gyro aiming is it basically turns your controller into a Wii controller. Look at this. So if I move my controller up and down, it moves my gun in game up and down. If I go left and right, it does that. So if you don't want any of that in your game, and I'm assuming none of you probably want that in your game, make sure all of these settings under gyro aiming here are turned off. We're going to scroll down here to aim response curve type. Now this is the setting I was talking about earlier, where you need to combine it with your aim assist type. This needs to be on dynamic in order for that rotational aim assist to kick in, so make sure this is on dynamic. ADS sense multiplier focus, this isn't something I personally mess with. What this is it changes your sensitivity when you're holding your breath with any sort of optic, right? So if I turn this down to 0.50 and I hold my breath with a sniper, for example, it's gonna lower my sensitivity by 50%. So I don't mess with that personally. And then ADS sensitivity transition timing, we do want this on instant here, and then you can also customize your per zoom sensitivities if you would like to do so here. I don't like to mess with that. And then our inputs dead zone, we're gonna click on show more right there. And then for your right stick minimum, what you want to do is turn this setting all the way down to 0, and you're probably going to notice there's stick drift on the controller, right? So you're going to want to bump this setting up by 0.01 until it gets rid of that stick drift on your controller. The lower the number is here, the better, because your right stick's going to feel more responsive. And then left stick minimum, I know a lot of people like to put this down all the way to 0 or even 0.1, which you can see I'm getting stick drift on my left stick, so it's messing up in the menus, which is why I put it at 0.05. But the reason people do this is so you're almost getting stick drift at all times on your left stick in the game, which is making it so your controller is almost always activating rotational aim assist without you needing to do anything. So that is something you could mess with there. Personally, I don't like doing that. And then I like to leave my left and right stick max all the way up to 0.99. Right stick max, in my opinion, being all the way turned up is very important. And then again, since your left stick is your movement stick, some people do like to turn this down so you don't have to move the joystick as much in a certain direction to move around in game. So you could turn this down if you want your movement to feel a little more precise. And then very important here, we want the left and right trigger dead zones to be turned all the way down. It's going to make your aiming, and when you press your right trigger to shoot, it's going to make that feel a lot more snappy. It's going to make that whole experience experience feel a lot more responsive. And then scrolling down here, we don't want auto move forward on. I don't recommend doing that. I do have tactical sprint behavior turned on, but in my opinion, I would just use automatic tactical sprint. It's going to make the movement feel much better in game, and you're going to be saving your joysticks from burning out very quick. And pretty much the rest of the settings under here, I do have default besides parachute auto deploy. I do want this turned off so I can pull my parachute at a much lower level in Warzone, because if you have this turned on, your parachute will obviously auto deploy, and it auto deploys at a height that is much higher than what you can actually pull your chute at. So turning this off can help you get the jump on people off rip when you are flying in. And then scrolling down here, pretty much all of this is just default. I just noticed while editing that I forgot to mention under combat behaviors here, there is an option called backpack alternate control. Now, if you turn this on, what it will allow you to do is use your left stick to go through like the inventories or backpacks, and it might make it a lot easier for you if you prefer to use your left stick to do that. I prefer to use my D-pad, but I just wanted to let you guys know that this option is here and it could be very helpful to you. And then we're going to go over to the controller tab here, and then for button layout here, I do have mine set to default. If you click it, you can customize everything here. The reason I have mine set to default is because on my controller, I have two paddles on the back there. So I have my jump button bound to this one, then my crouch slash slide button bound to this one. So it works perfect for me. But for a lot of people who don't have a controller with paddles on the back, it's very important to have your jump button bound to a button where you don't have to take your thumbsticks off. So you're able to jump shot a lot easier in gunfights. You're able to jump while aiming. That's very, very important in this game. So if you don't have paddles, a button layout I would recommend you guys trying out is either bumper jumper tactical, which is what I personally used to use before I got a scuff controller, or a lot of people I know like to use stick and move. This is where you use your right stick to jump, and this is just going to help improve your gunfights immensely, because being able to jump in the middle of a gunfight is just huge. Alternatively, you could set this to custom and then completely customize your keys, but like I said, make sure your jump button is on a key that where you don't have to take your thumbs off the thumbsticks in order to jump. Now right here, you can flip your triggers with your bumpers if you want to. I know some pro players like to do this because it feels a little more responsive to use your bumpers to aim and shoot with, but personally I prefer using the triggers to shoot. Your stick layout preset and controller vibration, I mean, that's kind of personal preference. I recommend trying controller vibration off. Personally, I feel like it's a lot better to have it turned off because I've found controller vibration to be very distracting. And then, I mean, your sensitivity is personal preference, right? But if you're struggling to find a good sensitivity, I highly recommend trying something anywhere between 4 and 8. That's generally where most of the pro players are playing at. And then for ADS sensitivity multiplier, I like to lower this down to 0.85. So my sensitivity is just slightly slower when I'm ADS. Your sensitivity multiplier here. Now, I wouldn't mess with any of this personally. I just leave it at default, but you know, if you want your sensitivity to be faster when you're in a vehicle or something like that, go for it. And then under automatic sprint here, highly recommend you guys put this to automatic tactical sprint. This is just going to help your movement a lot in game, and it's going to save you a lot of money on buying controllers because you're not matching that left stick all the time. And interact slash reload behavior, this is a really, really nice feature. I recommend you guys trying to put this on prioritize interact. What this does is it makes it a lot easier to loot because you can just tap your square button instead of having to hold that button down to loot. It just makes looting a lot easier. And then what you do is you hold the button in order to reload, but if there's nothing to loot around you, you can just tap the button to reload. So it's a very, very nice feature, and I highly recommend you change it to this setting here. And then armor plate behavior, we want to make sure this is set to apply all. This is just very helpful in Warzone. You just press your plate button once and all your plates are being put on. If you found this video helpful whatsoever, I'd really appreciate if you guys come drop a follow over on my Twitch stream. It's just twitch.tv/Webzy. Otherwise, link is at the top of the description. I stream Monday through Saturday morning and afternoon time, so come say what's up in chat. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to click that subscribe button if you're new here. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Here's the web. Peace.